Okay, so we're on live, but will this?
You need slide over. Okay, so to show that we're trying social distance. Not too far away. No, I mean, you could, yeah. Okay.
So remember, let's try to talk into the camera, which is hard, I know. But where is the part where they can talk to us?
Don't know.
Because I don't see it.
Uh-oh.
Edit.
Inspired me cough. Go to show start.
Description, live chat. Enable live chat. Why is it disabled for this? So we might just have to do it live and send it out.
Does it start in 1 minute?
Less than. I'm gonna do it here from my phone. Hopefully I can do it.
That's Liliana.
One more. So somebody's on there already, or is it us?
Must be us.
One more. So somebody's on there already, or is it us? Live chat is disabled. Why? I seen you looking at me.
Top of the day to everybody on our radio podcast and our second time of live streaming on YouTube. I am Gina Pagnotta Murphy, president of PACE with Radio Connections with PACE. And with me, I have my co-host,
Ebony Walton, vice president of PACE.
And she's also our IT person. And she's trying to figure out why we can't get live chat.
We weren't supposed to say anything yet.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to say anything? Oh, I'm sorry.
They weren't going to know until they chatted and then nobody responded.
But you got to let them know up front so they won't, Anyway, as you all know, I always get the one that gets the elephant out the room. So the elephant out the room today is we don't know why we can't do live chat, but try to do it anyway. Maybe it'll pop up. Right, IT?
Hopefully. We're going to see. We're working on it. We working on it. Just email or text us.
Anyway.
All right. What you got for inspiration for the day, Gina?
Inspiration for the day. The quote, being held accountable may feel like an attack if you're not ready to acknowledge how your poor decision impact others. I got to repeat that one.
Go ahead.
Now hear this. Being held accountable may feel like an attack if you're not ready to acknowledge how your poor decision impacts others. Wow, that's powerful.
It is.
That's a powerful
It happens
statement.
every day.
Every day. Especially with leaders, them lack of common sense leaders.
It does.
And then they want to blame you for stuff.
They do.
Or steal your joy.
Mm-hmm.
Why is knowledgeable?
What does it mean? Break it down.
Poor decision that impacts others.
So break it down for us.
Well, that's like, for instance, there's so much I can say on that without.
Just say a little bit.
Will you make some dumb decisions as a leader and want your employees to follow you, and then nothing goes right? Then you want to blame everybody else. You just impacted the production,
Everything.
the efficiency,
Mm-hmm.
the effectiveness,
Mm-hmm. That's right.
the morale.
Everything.
And then you want to say it's them and not me.
And it's time for your evaluation, or something happens and you are called in for what happened. You get offended because they're correcting or trying to correct the behavior. It's not being disciplined, it's just trying to correct the behavior. And you get upset, right? And you get upset because
you made a poor decision and it impacted others.
There you go.
And you don't want to, what we call, bite the bullet.
Nope.
And take the fault and say, hey, I messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go back and redo this, or I need to listen to some of my employees that has the knowledge and experience or expertise. Not everybody that you think want to move up
want your job.
They want your job.
Not at all.
Or want all these $6 figures that you making, and you making poor decisions. Everybody can be comfortable with what they're doing.
That's correct.
So that doesn't mean because a laborer is running behind a truck or somebody is working in a ditch that they don't have common sense or they don't have a master's degree in something. That might be the job that they enjoy. They might be doing something. So you never know what you got until you, as a good leader, listen to your people and your employees. And leads us to the movie of the week.
Go ahead.
Genius by Aretha, or Genius Dash Aretha. You know, I watched that. I wasn't going to watch it after the third time because I couldn't understand, never heard anything much about Aretha other than her songs and the little gossip in the tabloids. Mm-hmm. And I don't know this National Geographic. I always followed them as to be true to some things that they do, you know, over the years. And we used to have those National Geographic magazines. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I love that, the pictures, too. You know.
I did.
So I always thought that they were factual. So when this came out and they were supporting this and they were behind this production, I was quite shocked. And I'm like, okay, is this facts? And if it's factual, Aretha was always in a dark place.
They portray
her in a very dark place. She had a horrible, horrific childhood and stuff. And maybe that's why all of the passion of her singing came. But, you know, a lot of that happens. But, oh, my gosh. And then they portrayed Martin Luther King and her alluded. They didn't show it, but alluded that they may have had some type of, you know, more friendly relationship. And so I'm not shocked because they're only human, but I didn't realize a lot of the stuff that she did because, you know, they portrayed Angela Davis in there too. And I marched with Angela Davis back in, I'm giving my age right now.
Marched.
Well, and we're not going there because let me tell you about the marching, you know. Everybody looked at me, and I'm not going there, you know, the light skin, dark skin, but Angela Davis. But I got to say a little bit. So with my hair being straight, you know, I didn't kind of fit in with the Black Panther movement and Angela Davis because they had, even though she was light skinned, she had a big afro. So I went out and bought me an afro. You know, I had somebody gave me a little afro wig.
You couldn't just wet yours and let it air dry?
No, it wouldn't. No, that wouldn't have. No, it just frizzes out. You know, it didn't get in that afro type thing. So I had to buy an afro wig, and I was able to march with them. I even put a little pick. Remember the pick with the fist in it?
In your straight hair?
No, in the wig.
Oh, okay.
See, there you go. Follow me.
I'm just saying.
You threw slur back at me. Follow me. In the afro wig, I put the pick in. So I was able to march with the cause. So when I saw that,
march with
the cause. When I saw that, it brought back a little memories of my college days because I was in college when all this was going on at Fayetteville State University, for everybody to know, Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we call that the Ville. So anyway, we did the march on the Murchison Road. Shout out to all my folks out there in Fayetteville, the Ville, and so it just brought a little memories back. But I can't wait to the one with what's her name that Aretha wanted her to portray her, the singer. I can't think of her name right now. Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, okay.
Supposed to be portraying her. So I can't wait to see what type of story they're going to have, you know, and see where they're going with that. But anyway, you guys get a chance. It was very interesting, very sad.
I haven't seen it.
Watch it. It's 4 nights, 2 episodes in each night. I did watch the whole thing through, and it didn't touch too much on her death or anything like that, but it showed it didn't go into the Glenn Thurman marriage either much, just showing where she did marry him. And guess who I was shocked to see in it, playing one of her lovers, T.I. T.I. How did T.I. get that role? But I was like, I kept looking at him like, that look like T.I. Is that T.I.? So I Googled the characters. It was Tip.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm going, all right. Well, they didn't portray him to be bad, though.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think the role that he played for her, he really loved her. But anyway, that's the movie of the week. Aretha, a Genius Aretha. So you guys check it out if you can.
And the song for the week.
What?
Don't own the rights, but I'm sure you will like it. I'm not going to say your age. I'm just saying.
You can't play it long because we don't have
I'm
money
not
to pay for it.
I'm not going to play it long.
Okay.
Just for a minute. But you're going to know what it is when you hear it.
Oh, I like that.
I know you do.
Bill Withers.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the name, though.
Listen. But I love it. When I'm out cleaning up.
You shot me with that one.
I know I did. That's what I said.
Okay, you got to cut it. We don't have the rights to the song, so we can't play it. We're going to get sued. Anyway, that's Bill Withers.
Yes, Lovely Day.
Lovely Day. Hey,
Lovely
that's
Day.
the song for the week. Oh, yeah.
That
That always inspires me.
Yeah,
always.
It's a really good one.
What's our hot topics? What's the gossip first? Oh, let me give a shout out. I got to give a shout out.
Okay.
And let me see. The shout out is because my husband listened to his radio talk show and he heard him calling out for all unions.
Oh, really?
To help him support or not support the voter suppression.
Okay.
So I got to give a shout out. And so when my husband called him and talked to him and said, yeah, I'm married to a lady that runs a union for the city. And he was just ecstatic. So we got to give him a call and coordinate with him. And his name is Joe Madison. I don't know if you all heard of him, but he's the host for Black Eagle Radio. It's a series, channel 126. And we'll reach out to him and see what we can do together. But he has a big talk show thing, and he's talking about the voter suppression. And I really haven't got a lot into that voter suppression thing, but I do know when I heard that you couldn't even bring bottled water while you're standing in line. Yeah. So guess what? I get that, but you know what we need to do? When you're standing in line, bring your own water. Have a little backpack with your own water in it. That's all you got to do. Yeah. There's always ways. Right is right. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But there's ways around certain things. Yeah. Like I go to Disney World. Yeah. I don't be wanting to buy no $5 bottle of water.
It ain't
so I'll put me a little
$10.
Yeah. I'll put that little bottle of water on my hip, and now you got a little sandwich, a little snack, and I'll stand in line waiting on the ride. So if I can do that, you can do that if you're standing up in line, and bring your little rolling chair for that you open up, you can sit down. What's wrong with that?
I didn't say anything. I'm just listening.
I got one. So when I want to stand, I'm going to bring my little rolling chair, open it up, sit down, get up, fold it up, roll a little more, open it up, sit down till I get done what I need. Quit laughing at me about my rolling chair. Those are ideas and suggestions, people, so you won't be suppressed for your vote.
The main thing was they're requiring some type of IDs, and it appears what they're saying that they're trying to keep minorities out of voting. That's the whole thing. That's really the whole thing.
They ought to be.
And I'm not going to, like we said, we're not political, but we're not, but that it's always something.
Bring your rolling chair.
It's always
and bring some water. Bring your little snacks, some Vienna sausages or some crackers.
I like Vienna crackers, though. I do.
You like Vienna crackers?
Well, we used to eat brown swaggin'. You remember brown swaggin'?
What's brown swaggin'?
It was the potted meat, and I ain't that now. It's the potted meat in the little pack in the deli part that you can cut. You just dip it and eat it. It was good. It was good though. I couldn't eat it now, but I'm so sorry.
Why are you slapping at me?
I didn't slap at you.
There's a net flying around it. People, listen.
What's the net?
We gotta have some.
We
gotta have donations because we need a studio. I have been attacked by chickens. Just saw the hawk come down because they found out chicken survives back here. So in her backyard,
oh my God.
So the hawks are flying around.
That's good to
and
know.
Now we got gnats in here that she's slapping at. When we get chance and put it out there, help us out to get a studio. But forgive her, she's slapping around gnats. I tell you.
I'm not gonna do it anymore. So anyway, talking to my mom this morning about
Okay.
nursing homes.
Oh my.
And my cousin, her husband had a stroke and he's kind of not able to do for himself. So he had something else happen to him. Anyway, he went into the hospital.
Okay.
She got him back yesterday.
Okay.
And he had bodily fluids dried on his body, right? From the hospital. So, and I understand that nurse's job is a hard job too, like anybody else's. You know, we all have things that are a little more difficult to handle or whatever, but he doesn't speak, so he couldn't tell you anything. But as your job, you're supposed to be checking. So, and my mom, she was a retired nurse. So she was just talking. Now she teaches CNAs, and a lot of them are foreigners.
And CNAs are? What are they? What does CNA stand for?
Certified Nurse Assistants.
Okay.
And
CNAs,
yes.
Okay.
So and that just popped off the road.
Yeah, because that's what.
But what it is certified? They certified nurses. They're like
you're
going up to
Yeah.
the level, to LP and RN and all that. Anyway, she was just saying how she doesn't want to be in a nurse home just because she knows how things could be. But a lot of the people that doesn't speak our language, English, or whatever the majority of the language is, wherever they work, it's confusing to the patient when they're trying to tell and say, hey, this is what's wrong with me, or say something. The person that's dealing with them have no clue what they're saying. So they're trying to guess what they're saying. Instead of saying in the beginning that they don't speak real English, all the way speak English. Instead of saying that, they just continue on and they wait through the class. And that's what my mom said they do in her class. And that's a major problem, because whereas they can get disciplined for that, but they just don't speak the language.
So it's a communication.
It's a big communication.
Just like you just said, CNA.
It's a C, the letter N and A. You thought I said C and A?
Yeah.
No, C, N as in Nancy, A.
Well, don't get an attitude.
I'm just saying.
You see how we going here? And this, see, what I heard you say, CNA, not CNA.
I didn't pronounce my syllables right.
That's there.
Because I'm dark skinned. Is that what it is?
Maybe so.
Is that what it is?
I didn't go there.
Is that what you tried to say?
She's bringing that up. But see, CNA sounds different from C and A. And you know what? To be real with you, Ebony,
yes,
that's the kind of communication lack of
that's in
the workforce today.
It is.
With that experience that your mom is having, this is experienced all the time in the city of Atlanta.
It is.
Because people think they don't know that how they're speaking, and they get offended, just like you got offended I'm talking about you dark skin. Had nothing to do with that. You just did not speak.
I'm just saying.
Pronunciation properly.
To pronunciation properly to who?
Me.
To your standards?
But who are you talking to?
Anyway.
You're talking to me. Or is there somebody behind me? But anyway, this is probable cause. Remember, we were talking about communication.
That's true.
In some of our podcasts in the past about people assuming that what I'm hearing you say, it may be totally different from what you're actually saying to me.
That's true.
So when I don't do what you asking me to do, it could be I didn't understand you clearly.
That's
so
right.
We were talking about proper communication. And proper communication is once you give a directive, allow that employee to speak back and say, I'm hearing you say this. Don't get an attitude because they may have misinterpreted what you said. Yeah. Just correct what you said or revise it in a different way so they understand. But we got a lot of that going on.
All the time. All the time.
They get mad.
So so last week we discussed how I had a meeting, or I had an employee that you said, well, you just was probably being mean or whatever. So this particular employee, as with a couple of other ones, but you have, we had a meeting with our major and our operations manager. And so they listened to her side of the story. And then they brought me in and listened to my side. Then they put us together.
Okay.
So when they put us together, she goes into all of this stuff. I have no idea what she was really saying. It's a lot of what she felt, right? And you can't help how people feel. That's fine. And so then I come back and I said, well, this is what I expect as the supervisor. This is what I expect. I don't really, and those that know me, I'm not really a real emotional type person. You know, I'm not, if you sit here and cry, I might just do you like this or something, but I'm not going to cry with you.
Who you mean?
That's not being mean. I was raised by two men.
Look how she just touched me.
I'm just saying.
You know what that pat means.
Stop crying. We didn't. My daddy didn't.
That's
They
that good
didn't
old
do
boy
that. Oh, good old boy. We didn't do all of that crying. We wasn't raised to do all of that. So you don't really cry. I know that's you can and all of that's okay. That's not a problem. But she was in her feelings for something that she had really. I've never done anything actually directly to her.
Okay.
So miscommunication or misperception of whatever it was.
Mhm.
So I saw me because in my mind I expect certain things.
Right.
Right. And like the topic we have, what is it? What topic says? Don't expect when. What's the rest of the topic?
What you talking about? A quote?
No, the one we put on the blog talk.
You don't want to put that on the
Oh
blog
my
talk.
gosh. It's
IT. So anyway,
stop expecting when nothing has been.
we didn't even say that in the blog yet.
It is.
We didn't say that verbally to the listeners.
You want to
in the
say it
blog.
verbally first?
Okay, say it verbally.
You say it verbally.
No, you said you wrote it.
Don't expect. Stop expecting when nothing has been. Oh shoot. Let me see. I'm sorry. Where did it go? Stop expecting. Where did it go?
See, she
I
don't
don't
even
know.
know what she's doing, and
I don't
I'm
know.
firing her.
I don't know. But don't expect when something hasn't been, when you don't know that they are aware of something. And that's my problem. I expect a 30-year-old person to act as a 30-year-old person. I expect a 15-year-old to act as a 15-year-old. I expect a 60-year-old to act as a 60-year-old. That's something that I do, I think, or expect, because that's just how
Your expectations
Yeah.
are high standards and work ethics are applicable.
Yeah.
However,
But people don't, they're not aware of that
Exactly.
a lot of times. And so that's something that I see within me,
right.
that, hey, sometimes you can't, she might be 35, but she might act like she's 20, or she might act like she's
Oh, now
12.
we're discriminating age.
No, I'm just saying, well, no, I'm saying you have a lot of 35-year-old people that act like they're 10 or 12.
You got 60
Throwing
years like
tantrum.
10 and 12.
There you go. So I have
throw
to
a tantrum
be,
every now and then.
you don't act like that though. You don't act like that. So I have to I'm learning to stop expecting that.
Well, if people tell you that you're mean, I mean, if somebody say I'm mean, I would want to know, why do you feel that I'm mean, and try to make some type of change. But a lot of times people don't know you. They only know the work side of you. We all human.
Yeah.
Because I can be just as raw, and I can be, and I give you
very.
Not very. But I'll give you the coat off my back, because at the same time, and I cry almost every day. Anybody, you cry, I'm crying, but I still whip you. I mean, you ever heard that say? My daddy used to say that all the time, but he never whipped me because his punishments were so hard. He said, "This is going to hurt you more than me."
Right, and that's not true.
This
It
is going to
hurts
hurt
me.
you more than me. No, it's not.
It's hurting me.
So quit lying.
Yeah,
but
it's hurting me.
And so over the past week, speaking of hurting, oh gosh, how do I say this? We've had a couple of employees in different areas that are hurting real bad. They're feeling abused, mistreated. They're going through a lot of family issues.
Yes.
I had one person, and this person was going through a divorce because of the job, going through pandemic because of PTSD, going through family issues with the COVID, going through bad boss communication, going through being ostracized. They're feeling that people being mean and mistreating and bullying, and to the point where they had to go get some help or go out sick for a while. And that's just not one person, it's several people. So I reached out to EAP, and shout out to Dr. Adrian Bradford, wherever you are, because I truly miss you. Dr. Adrian Bradford was very, very workable with the union and the employees. She cared a lot about these employees, till it made her so sickening to see how they're being mistreated. Because see, the thing is one or two people make complaints about something. You take that with a grain of salt, but you investigate. But when you got multiple people saying the same thing, it's time for a full-fledged investigation, because something is wrong. All these people can't be wrong.
So you remember back in a couple of years ago, when you had we first went to you, we first came to PACE because we was having issues with our director at that time.
911.
Yes,
I remember.
And it was
it's horrible.
The employees were fearful. It was the atmosphere. It was so the atmosphere was so thick when you walked in.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was always on pins and needles.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hating
then,
each other,
yeah,
morale down.
everything. And we're come a long way. We're not where we should be, but we are moving in a better direction. But when we came to Pace really, really, really
Took me that was a lot of heartburn.
That was
for
a
me.
lot.
A lot of heartburn.
It was a lot for me.
So I can imagine what you all were going through.
It was a lot.
But it didn't happen overnight. It took us a couple of years to get that done.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a lot of bravery to go before council, because you got to understand, I'm from a military background, and you stay loyal as much as you can. And I always heard you don't bite the hand that feeds you. But when even a bit dog get tired of beating down and will come back after you, your master.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it took me a lot of heartburn to go before council and have to call out that area, because 911 is the crucial heartbeat of the city.
Yeah.
911 is the heartbeat of the city, because citizens call 911, let's be real, to dispatch police and fire to scenes of crimes and violence and what the citizens need. And when you all are not fixed and repaired, you're not going to give the quality service that is expected. And you're going to have sick outs. You're going to have people leave out. And so we had to take a very strong stance, the union, to support you guys. And you guys supported us to get what we needed done. And we did accomplish what we have been requesting, but we had to show facts. And some people, all of this political stuff and who's who and who belongs to who and who's in a clique. We finally had to expose that and get something.
And it was very dark. It was really dark.
I can imagine.
So with that being said, now there's another issue going on. Not with our department though. Not like that.
Because let me do some shout outs to your department so far with your major and the captain coming to the table with the union.
Yes.
And we just had a meeting about it, and they listened and they were willing. And of course, they're like, we call it the blue code. We call it the military code. Sworn. They're totally different. But the fact that they were willing to listen and give us an opportunity as civilians for them to see it another way.
Yeah. And I can imagine that it's hard. It's difficult.
For them because they're more stringent.
Exactly. And the major now, he's very straight line, which is what they need.
Right.
Last year, the director we had, she was the one to open up the can of worms. She exposed everything. She let it all out.
You were talking about Miss Pritchett.
Director Pritchett. Listen, if we only have 3 people on the phone and they walking through, we're not going to pad it up and make it look like we have 10 or make people. She was very transparent. So that was good. And we knew that. We said that last year was a very transparent year, and whatever leadership we get this year is going to be so everything's exposed. Now let's put it back together the right way and put it in line. And that's what he's doing. I don't know how long he's going to stay there. Usually they don't stay long, but I hope he stays there long enough to get that straight line together. And that's what it is. That's what we do.
But he also have reached out to the unions and we're working together.
Yes.
So we hats off to and kudos to Captain Major. I always call him. He said I could call him Major
because we say
I can't say his name.
Yeah, they say we're pronouncing it wrong.
So he said, Gina, you can call me Major V. So Major V and Captain Baxter.
Yes.
We appreciate the union. Appreciates your dialogue and your coordination with us to help your operation go smooth for the production, efficiency, and morale of your employees.
And we can't exclude Desiree because she helps them.
Miss Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
I had the pleasure of meeting her that time you all invited me to lunch, and I was scared.
Yeah,
I sit up there with my mask on.
I remember. And
speaking of masks, you getting a little close.
I got my mask.
No, you just need.
And I had my shot. I should be afraid of you. I got my shot.
Oh, did you see that pun intended?
I'm just saying.
Whatever.
So,
anyways, back to the 311.
Yes.
We got the 911.
Mm-hmm.
Now we having a crisis in 311.
Yes.
Well, you know me. Do I need to pull the elephant out of the room or let you go?
Go ahead and pull the elephant out the room.
Okay, so I might get some calls on this, and I'm prepared for it because I've already made my phone calls. But here we go, folks. 311 is just as important to the city as 911, but not as important because 911 handles deaths and this and stuff,
Emergency calls.
emergency calls. However, 311 can get some of that stuff, and 311 has emergencies through the citizens on other issues
Yes.
that just as impact as it can or the 911.
I think they handle like water bills and all
water
that
bills
kind
or
of stuff,
bad
right?
things or,
Yeah.
or you know, or people
So
suing
that's
back,
just, yeah.
you know, stuff that's environmentally unsafe that they impact sometime. And information. They are the lifeline to people calling in, where do I go to do this and do this within the city. So they're in the crisis. And the reason I said it because it's bringing back memories like we're dealing with 911. To my understanding and my investigation so far over the past 2 years, here we go again with leadership getting out in front of council, giving these attaboys or accolades about how great their center is doing, and council, unbeknownst, always listens
and give them
their accolades and do all of this, when in actuality some of that stuff may not be true. Those facts and figures are not true. And I say that because I remember a long time ago the CFO got in front of council or the finance exec committee and said where Fleet was losing money. And I had to stand up and tell him, you're not telling the truth with those figures, or somebody's giving you some false information, because I know better and I know different. That's how we got into that managed competition, to prove him wrong. And we did. But moving forward, we've gotten a lot of complaints from employees confidentially, hidden. And a matter of fact, a letter from somebody named Grady Baby. Grady Baby, whoever you are out there, you know, please, I mean, I don't know who you are, but call me. You don't have to let me know who you are. But a letter from Grady Baby went out to all of the city council. And I know because we represent some of the 311 members over there, I felt compelled that I needed to send a letter back out to the council to let them know that we now are aware of really somebody actually put it in writing versus calling the union individually and complaining. But didn't want to give up names, didn't want to, you know, they're just saying they're being bullied. Okay, how are you being bullied? Tell me, don't just complain. And Grady Baby put this letter out, and he was or she, whoever it was, just went there. And so I made some phone calls to find out, anybody know who this is, what's going on. And some of the complaints that I've been getting are similar to what Grady Baby put out. But he put it out to all the city council. And one person responded that I know of from the council was Felicia Moore, President Moore. And she said that she really would like to, you know, look into this matter, as she always does, because she's always supportive of employees, because it's about transparency. And I think it was more so that, okay, the commissioner or interim person, director is telling them one thing, but now we got people saying something else. She wants to know the truth. Is it true? And everything that you heard the council meeting, I didn't hear. What did you hear on that?
So they were just giving their stats on, you know, everything that was going on. They stated that they had, I think, 3 vacancies. 16 are about to be filled April 1st.
Okay.
And then one of the council members asked, they've been getting complaints that they've been holding on the line. And she said, well, they've been holding, I apologize, but they've been holding because a lot of their people are out for training and different things like that. So, I mean, I don't work at 311, so I don't know. Maybe, I know we have a lot of training sometimes. But that was 5 days ago meeting. So I don't know if the lines are still holding now, after that 5 days. I don't know.
Well, Grady Baby but wrote that letter. And in that letter, it was opposing of what that person, the leader, said to council. And then I got a couple of more phone calls from individuals that was solidifying what Grady Baby is saying. So I don't know who Grady Baby is, but if you happen to know this person, or this person hears this podcast, please reach out to me in the union. You don't have to divulge who you are, but we want to get more information, because we can't help you because the letter, even though you were exposing some figures and numbers, we, the union, want facts. So one thing I don't do is go before council and say things where he said, she said, and, you know, make complaints without us having facts. And then we also like to make solutions or offer suggestions. But the leader of this 311 center we've had some issues with that leadership for some time ago. So I don't see that Grady babies. Some of that stuff is not quite untrue.
So we did reach out to the 311 members
Yes.
for a Zoom meeting.
Yes.
And that link will be sent out earlier today.
Yes.
For you guys to, if you are listening and you want to be on that meeting, so you can give us the full story and Pace can represent you, then that would be fine. That would be, you have to do that. You don't, again, like you said, you don't have to tell who you are. You don't have to ever speak in front of anyone, even though she did me like that. She did. She just threw me out there.
Well, you the VP, you got to learn.
I wasn't then. I wasn't anything.
Well, you did so good, I appointed you.
That's her being.
Yeah.
There they go again. She just telling me. She just appointed me. You just appointed me. But I was just thrown out there in front of that. I didn't know the cameras was going to be on. I didn't know anything. I just heard y'all say, "Do you mind talking in front of city council?" Sure, I don't mind talking in front of city council. But when we get in front of city council, they got camera folks out. And
oh yeah,
I had no idea. So we're not going to do y'all like that.
We'll make you a star. You have fans, you know. Every now and then they'll call me and say your fans miss you. But anyway, it's not easy and it's not fun to go and make complaints in front of your leaders about leaders. Mm-hmm. But the truth comes out to the truth. And I'm saying, please don't make this 311 situation be another New Jack City. Remember the New Jack City with watershed? Because you know I'll bust them out.
That's a gang life right there. She really mafia. Pagnata.
Get it?
Murphy.
So, you know, I have my moments and I have my ways. Somebody told me this Murphy is what is it? A Scott? What is that? Mm-hmm. Murphy name. It said, just because your last name is Murphy, don't think you're one of us. I was told, oh yeah. I said, maybe not, but Pagnata means a lot. Get it? Sicilian.
Oh Lord.
So anyway.
But that goes, like you said, that helps to make the changes. To make change with anything, it's never comfortable. It's never comfortable trying to even lead or be a part of that. That is commendable, just even on your part. Now,
see what I mean?
Going cross-eyed on me.
Bugs flying around. We need a studio, you guys. We need help, man. Getting ate up, hawks flying around, chickens backing at my feet. But anyway, so beautiful home. Don't get it. Can't take the picture out of something.
So anyway, but it's a lot of stress that you have to endure and deal with on both ends. And then to go back, I can recall that time when after we had went before city council that day, I was so heavy. Oh my God, now I cried. Now I'm not gonna lie. I cried. I cried with my girlfriend that works there with me. I just broke down because it was just a lot. Everybody's coming to you, and then you get a lot of people in the background that say, "Well, are y'all bringing these issues up? Are you bringing these issues up?" Yeah, we are. And then later talk about you. You'll get a call and say, "We don't know why she ruffling people's feathers." I'm not. I mean, to see people down. I was never raised to not do anything. You always speak up. If you see this person is unable to speak, then you be their voice.
That's why we gravitate together so good, because you're a fighter like me. And it's not that you learn it, it's your innate, it's what was given, your God's gift given, that you have that in your spirit. With me, a lot of people talk about me. They probably smile in my face, and as soon as I turn my back, they got that. That's it. And you know what? When you do that, it makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be called to do. And I'm going to do what I need to do for the people and for the God-given spirit in me to help the people where I can. Am I human? Yes, I'm human. And I cry too, because I be wanting to just take somebody and just ring them, because I'm like, this is common sense. How can you not have common sense and be a good leader? You cannot lead without common sense.
But it's so common.
And people really retaliate against other people because you cannot accept when you're wrong, or you cannot accept that you might need to grow or growth, or you don't have the expertise. I got a good team. I always say this. My team, some of them know a little bit more than I know. I embrace that.
That's all you
in a heartbeat. So whenever I'm ready to leave the city, or whenever I want to retire, or whatever I want to do, I feel that I left a legacy where I work. They're going to say, oh, we remember Gina. Oh, she was a great supervisor. I'm not looking for that, but that's what everybody wants to leave when I go to another job or I just retire, whatever. But you don't. Are you looking for the halt? Why are you
No,
looking?
I was just,
She's-
that's the water meter person.
She's looking for the halt.
No, I'm not looking
Oh.
for a hoe.
Oh, okay.
They're not going to be in the front anyway. The chickens are in the back.
Oh, okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, I don't know because you know hogs don't. They can be sitting right.
But they're not
looking
going
at
to
us.
come in the house anyway.
Well, we don't know what's going on with all
The-
these toxins going on. The pandemic might hit
You're right,
these birds,
you're right.
and
They might fly
right
through the window and just
window.
come through.
Some of them,
Bam. Just
you
in
know,
the-
when you had that Windex, you remember that commercial when that bird?
you walk through the window, you didn't know.
It was so clear the birds was flying. But anyway,
So yeah, but with that
That's
though,
funny.
we had a write-in. One of the listeners had a question, and the question was, "What is the difference between these three terms?
okay,
And what are the consequences involved with each of them?"
okay,
The first term is proactive.
okay.
The second one is preventive, and the third one is preemptive.
Oh, that was deep.
Preemptive.
So say the three ones again:
Proactive,
proactive,
preventive,
preventive,
and preemptive.
preemptive. You said that right. Preemptive. Okay. All right.
Did
so
I
what you
say all of them
said all of
correctly?
them correct. Yeah,
You sure?
I understood.
Okay.
Very good.
I was just making
Now
sure.
the part comes when you're going to define what it means. Now,
So-
here we go.
When you do proactive, how do you view proactive? You want to give the definition first
Yeah, go ahead.
for proactive?
See,
It's more like a neutral approach to something.
okay.
That's a
I
Baseline.
always thought it was when you say proactive, meaning that you're reaching out first.
Yeah.
You're getting ahead
before
of
before anything
it-
happens.
Right. Okay.
Let's settle these ground rules. And
Okay.
job or work related, you would do that during your orientation. You get your handbook,
Mm-hmm.
what's expected of you,
Mm-hmm.
how you do your disciplinary process, your dress code, everything. That's your proactive. This is your guide
Mm-hmm.
that you use when you need any type of assistance.
Military, we call it recon. I look at
Okay.
it being like you want to recon, go out first to see, send
When
somebody
you
out
just
there
said
first.
that, I just saw you with the little black lines up under your face and the thing around.
Oh
your
yeah, I
head.
did. I was one of them.
I can see that.
I wanted to be a sniper. You know, I was an expert. No, seriously, I was an expert marksman in the military.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't shoot nothing up on close. I don't know if I was blindsided, but let the meters far away, I could
That's it.
snipe you out in a heartbeat. I just like going looking in that scope,
She
and I can get. But now, right, like you sitting right there, and I try to shoot you, might go past. So, but I don't understand that. But anyway,
Yeah. So that's your proactive
Mhm.
approach, right?
Mhm.
Then you have your preventive
Okay,
approach.
yes,
So that's when they fail to do. Okay, so I gave you the warning.
okay,
Now you violated the code. You violated something somewhere.
okay,
We're just going to give you your warning. That's preventive. I'm giving you a warning. It's not harsh, but it's just kind of like a little pinch. I'm nudging you. Hey, get it together. This is what I expect of you. Again, I'm giving you again the rules. This is what I'm expecting. Just
Mhm.
like when we do your written reprimands. What is the process of disciplinary? The steps of disciplinary. Your
Oral
warning,
punishment.
oral, written, and Adverse,
adverse action.
exactly. So that would be your second part of it.
Mhm.
The preventive. I'm telling you, here is the sheet to correct whatever it is that you need to correct
To prevent anything wrong.
to prevent anything wrong. Then your what's the last one?
Preemptive.
Preemptive. You handle the preemptive.
I don't want to handle the preemptive. That wasn't my.
Why
They
not?
called you and told you to figure it out. What is because
So your preemptive would be work related, I guess. It would be harsh.
what is the Webster?
The Webster says for the Webster definition would be taking a preventive action. It wasn't really that.
So who was the?
It
I mean,
wasn't-
what was the purpose of the caller?
They
saying?
wanted
Because
to know
everything that you're saying, I got completely different views with that.
what you got.
Because what did you say preemptive was again? It
The preemptive, if you think about
they all
war,
ties in together.
they all tie in together,
Yeah.
but each of them are steps.
Right.
You have your proactive, that's
Uh-huh.
your very first.
Mhm,
Then you have your preventive,
mhm.
then your preemptive.
Right.
And if you're looking at it in our world with SOPs and disciplinary,
Proactive
you have
means
your
to me.
oral. Go ahead.
Proactive means to me when you look at it in the city of Atlanta's world of discipline.
Mhm.
Proactive means I'm telling you up front what you need to do. up front.
Exactly. That's your
Preventive
orientation.
means that you got the understanding of the knowledge of what you need to have to prevent from doing anything wrong or to having any issues.
Mhm.
Then preemptive means when I come behind and then I have to do discipline. See how simple that was?
I wasn't making it simple. I was trying to explain it the best way.
Again, this is what we talk about, the difference between common sense leadership.
So I'm not common sense.
No, you did like
That's
went
all.
around
That's to make sure, because
Georgia, Alabama.
I like to say when we're done that
Okay.
you understood exactly what I said.
See how she-
Communication.
See how she all in my
Effective
face?
communication.
See how she getting all in my face?
You have
Give
communication.
me 6 feet,
You have regular communication.
pointing in my face, getting upset, voice getting loud.
I'm not getting upset.
But we're showing you how things can happen
Yeah.
in the real world of the city
It
between
does.
supervisor and employee.
Mhm.
And this is how it
This
goes.
is how it goes.
We having a serious dialogue. I'm trying to understand where she's
Yeah.
coming from. We having communication, and all of a sudden we're missing something
Yeah.
because I'm disagreeing, but
Yeah.
we're saying the same thing,
Saying the same
but it's
thing.
a different way. But I wasn't sure what she was saying because she was putting thousands of words,
Whereas she wanted to just make it so
just
simple.
common sense.
But when
simple.
you make it that simple, sometimes it becomes too simple, and then it's not effective.
okay,
You see what I'm saying? It's not effective because when we leave out of the meeting, that person might say, "Well, I thought what you said was, well, the way how I explain things, I explain it very elementary, all the way down.
No, you
open it all the way
no,
up.
you don't.
You
You explain it college wise, and so
Was
when you're
it?
talking
That
to
was hard?
elementary people, you got to break it down to ABC 1, 2, 3.
That was
And I
hard?
wanted to, yeah, a little bit, but it's not
Okay.
bad. But
Okay.
at the end of the day, where the correction of communication comes in is when you ensure that before that meeting
Exactly.
is over, that
Do you
everybody
understand?
understands what I
Exactly.
just said. And with that, you have to have another dialogue. And it's okay to say, can anybody explain to me what I just said, or do you have any questions?
Mhm.
And if that person has said something or asked you something that you felt in your mind it should have been simple,
Uh-huh.
do not berate that person. Allow that person, because they may not understood.
Yeah.
Everybody don't know how to work a PC. I mean, I can get out there and
Nope.
fight your battle all day long, give you some words, pick out 3-column words from the dictionary, talk to you like I'm a scholar. But when you throw that laptop in my face and tell me to go to Stream Live, well,
Flatline.
but that's why I have you, and we're a team, because you're very good at what you do with
As soon
IT.
as I can get this texting part on this YouTube, we be better.
That's right. And we need a studio.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But anyway, so the whole genre of our meeting today to discuss is communication,
Mhm.
to call out, to talk, to let the city employees know what's going on out there in the world, in the field, in their departments, to communicate and reach out, to let you know we're here for you. The union is here for you always. We're going to protect you when you're right, and we're going to help you when you're wrong. That's a good one. Let me repeat that. We're going to protect you when you're right, and we're going to help you when you're wrong. So always, it's not always leadership. Now let me get
No,
to
it's
the
not.
point there.
No, it's not.
Employees, now sometimes city workers, you can be a handful.
Yes.
Some of y'all can be like children.
Yes.
I'm gonna be
a lot.
be real.
A lot.
Some of you don't like to get directives. Some of you don't like to be told what to do because you got a better way of doing it. But guess what? Do what you ask and then put it in writing, or talk with them, set up a meeting with them and say, listen, we did so and so and so and so today, but I found a better way to do it the next time.
Mhm.
And if they don't listen and they continue to do it, as long as it don't cost you your paycheck, your money, your job, you're not being putting on a PIP just because you're expressing some new innovative way, let them have it and just come to the union and say, hey, this is costing the city money. And we brought this to their attention, and then we'll take it from there. We can speak for you on your behalf where you can't speak for yourself without being retaliated against. I mean, people love me and people hate me. I was told there's no in between. You either like somebody, you don't like somebody. But I like to say it's a love-hate.
It is
And I don't like
love-hate.
that word hate, but sometimes it's a
It's
love-hate.
love-hate.
We're going to agree to disagree, but it's a matter of respecting each other's opinion. And at the end of the day, leaders, we know you are the leader. We know it's your word. We know that you have the right to say, this is how we're going to do it. But if it doesn't make sense and it costs the city money, I'm going to challenge you with it. Just simple as that. Because what we want, transparency in the city. We need to get the city back where employees can be proud of the blue. Let's be real with that too.
Yeah.
Proud of the blue. Now we've got some issues going on with that case. We say we weren't going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. But let me say this. I don't want to get into the politics because everybody has their own personal opinion and their views about certain things and issues. But the bottom line is when somebody's breaking in my house or somebody trying to kill me, I'm calling 911. I don't care what at that moment, and this is for real because I'm human.
Yeah.
At that moment, I might have just got off the phone, holding my fist up, protesting about somebody and did somebody wrong on the police side versus a civilian, and whether it's right or wrong. But at the end of the day, when somebody's breaking in my house or trying to harm me, I'm dialing 911. As simple as that. I'm dialing 911. And I want a police officer to come out here and help me. And so we got to get back. And you remember police officers in the city of Atlanta is the city of Atlanta employees. They stay employees.
They are. And they human.
And so they're human. I'm not taking sides on nothing. So don't go out there repeating that Gina's pro this and pro. I'm not. I'm telling you the truth and how I feel. This is my truth. And I just want to say all city employees, we all need to go by what our disciplinary actions, we have that in the code.
For a reason.
They're there for a reason. No matter who you are, that's there for a reason. And we want to be proud to be employees again. I used to be so proud, and I'm still proud to be employed with the city of Atlanta. But we used to have good uniforms. People used to be out there and see you in your uniform. So nice you look good. You know, you represented the city well.
It meant more.
Your uniforms was clean. You didn't have no turnaround hats. You didn't have all these different colors. Everybody knew, oh, that's the city of Atlanta truck. Yeah. Oh, that's the city of Atlanta employees. Distinguished employees. And then folks would say, oh, you work for the city. Oh, wow.
And that was such a good
thing. Because they say, it took me for years. I still ain't heard. So you're an elite person in the city of Atlanta. Now folks laugh at us.
Yep.
Laugh at us.
I take that uniform off soon as I get in the car.
Soon as we get in the car. It's like being ashamed to work for the city, and it's not because of the job. I love my job, but it's all this bad publicity, all this ugliness, all the bad leadership, all of this fraternization, all of this, who you know. I mean, we help each other. Don't get me wrong, but don't pick and choose and put people in places that don't know the job. And then you got these issues going on. We got to help each other, which brings me to that last part we want to talk about, colleague and teamwork.
Okay.
See, when you got teamwork, we got to build it back to your colleagues. When you're calling out sick just because you want to be off, not knocking the ones, because if you're sick, stay home, okay? Whether it's COVID related and hoping you don't get it, or just being not feeling good, mental stress, whatever, stay home. But remember, when you're just playing the game, trying to get over, you're not affecting primarily in my truth, you're not affecting the city numbers. That's priority. The priority is your colleague.
That's right.
Is your teammate.
I got to work harder.
Because now you put pressure on your teammate to work more hard, and she or he have issues like you or worse issues.
And still decide
got to come to work and cover for your absence that you all the time calling out. We got things that you really stress, and we understand it. You got FMLA, you got the FFRCA comp time, you got the sick time, but it doesn't mean that you take it in conjunction to make you a 4-day holiday.
Yeah.
Come on, folks.
With your off days.
Come on, y'all. Let's do this. We got to do better. We got to get back to where we are to look out for each other. Because at the end of the day, the union can fight with you for your leadership to do the right thing. But we need you to do the right thing for each other. Right. To be a team first. Members first, but team colleague first. And then we can go and fight stronghold, fist up, elbow bumped up, whatever you want to call it, to get what you need to make your life productive and keep your job. And that's all that PACE really
Yeah,
wants to
that's
do. And then
exactly
we have a productive labor management with department heads, council to bring it to them.
So now it's just on the employees because
Yes.
everything else has been done.
It's the
employees
we got
now.
the footprint out for
It's the
them
employees.
that
They just
we're
have to
being,
step up.
that we're out. They got
That's
the
it.
open door
They have
to a lot of departments, to the leadership, to the
Mhm.
emails. And yes, I still get texts directly from councils. I still can get emails directly
Mhm.
from them. We still have an open door to department heads, open door to labor relations, open door to DHR, Department of Human Resources. But we need you, team. We need you, employees, to support each other. And you got to help each other. And, that's going to make a better morale. And it makes a better, like just for instance, I'm here we go. Give you a prime example. Because I always bring the elephant out the room, right? Yes. Teleworkers. I was just online last week talking about I'm going up here speaking for people that's teleworking from home, that we never got any bonuses, the comp time. And when you're out sick, you got to take your own personal time. And then I make a phone call to the head of one of the departments to try to talk about giving them an incentive. They said, well, Gina, they said to me, Miss Pagnotta, I would love to discuss that with you. But right now, what I find, I went back and did some numbers and see people clocking in on their computer at 30 minutes and don't be there, calling them, can't get a response.
So where you at?
Where you at
home? And
you at home and you can't even work. And I felt so small, but I had to cover it up. Yeah. But so I said, well, why don't you send me those figures? Let me look at it. Who is it? Who is it? Let me see. So I understand when I'm saying the union can get out there and fight for you guys all day long, but if you're not going to do what you need to do, there's not really much other than us asking for leniency and empathy as an attorney would do for a person. And that's it.
But when you're wrong, you're wrong.
And but I don't play that. How I am. If you're wrong, I'm gonna let you know you're wrong. We're still gonna support you. But I'm gonna let you know you're wrong. It's just like a parent to a child. When the child's wrong, you spank them and still love them.
Yeah.
But you got to do what you got to do, and don't come blaming the union when you lose your case. Even though we don't really lose cases. Because
we didn't put you up to doing what you did.
Right.
Nobody.
Don't do that.
Nobody did. No one did.
That's it. So remember, employees, you got to be true to your colleague.
Have to.
And stay on Facebook when you're calling out sick.
So with that being said. We have,
where they do that at?
911.
Oh my God.
We have one that you would think the lesson would have been learned by now, but no. You call out for FMLA, but then somebody sees you because your coworker's going to tell them.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what your neighbor is not your neighbor.
Your colleague.
It's not your friend.
Because
they have to work hard. Because they have to work hard, so they mad. That they're working hard because you didn't come to work. So yeah, they scrolling on your Facebook.
Because y'all
because you Facebook buddies. And you put on your Facebook out partying, having a birthday time for blah, blah, blah. What in the world?
Yeah.
The time frame is in the time frame come on,
well, I heard the excuse they said, well, it was after 5 o'clock. That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Because you don't be sick from 8 to 5 and then you wait up at 5:30.
Now I want to go to a birthday party.
Come on, people. These are just, we're not trying to blow you out if we're hitting your toe.
But if we hit your toe, then obviously
understand you don't do certain things. This is what we're talking about, teamwork with your colleagues. Don't put your colleague into a point where they're getting stressed out. And we need you guys to be a team first before you're looking for PACE to go and speak on your behalf for more money, more incentives, morale boosting, and charging your leaders to be wrong all the time. You got to accept some of the fault when you're not doing what you need to do. And if you have an issue, quit trying to fight your battles yourself. Call us at the union and let us see, because it's easier for us to speak on your behalf up front than to try to come and do damage control after we done found it, showing us
be proactive, so we don't have to be preemptive.
So we don't, right.
No. Yeah, preemptive is the dangerous part. That's the ending part, right?
You got to be proactive so we can be preventive.
Preventive.
So there won't be a preemptive.
Okay, and then we'll go to preemptive.
See, we got that right. You see how we communicated and we understand each other now? That's called quality communication.
Until we get off this YouTube channel.
Yeah, because I want to see this talk that's out there.
So yeah, they have, and if you don't feel like your teams, like a lot of them, I know the morale is so far gone in a lot of departments that you don't feel like you are teammates with your coworkers. That's fine. You don't have to be friends. You don't have to like your coworker. But what you do need to do is respect them as your coworker. And you wouldn't want to have to answer call after call. And you don't even get a breath. Call after those 911 call takers, because they're different from the dispatchers. But when you're on the 911 side, it's that phone never stops. And you getting phone calls. You got the woman shot in the head. You get the kid that's not breathing. You get this. You don't get a break. You just constantly. And I'm looking around my room and I don't see hardly anybody there. And then the next day you come back, you want to tell me how fun you had it because you called out sick the other day. What we have got to start doing as the coworker is holding each other responsible. I don't want to hear it, because what I was doing while you was having fun, I was answering these phones.
Right.
I was doing my job. Your job is not to come to work when you feel like coming to work.
Your job is to be to work and be on time.
To be to work every day when you.
And speaking of that, we did get a meeting today set up for the EAP.
We did
interim,
which is
Director
Cassandra Govan
to talk to see if she can also shout out to the person that used our what was that?
It's okay to not be okay.
You guys remember that we had that about a couple of weeks ago? That was our topic of discussion. Well, ironically, 311, someone in 311 called Dr. Govan and said that they would like for her to talk about that same topic. So shout out to the person that just took our idea.
If they did, they might not. It's okay to not be okay. That's kind of common, even though we came up with that on our own. But
whatever.
It is okay to not be okay.
It is okay.
So we did get a talk with her. So hopefully we would like to see if she can start visiting the 911 center, because I did hear in the city council meeting that they were giving her kudos for going into the 311 center and doing that talk on it's okay to not be okay. And 311, I'm sure they have some calls too, and they get cursed out. But 911 also, just like police, because now they're going out to police precincts and doing that. Well, don't forget your dispatchers. We listen to it. We hear it. It never stops. And we don't see it. But when that call comes in, our mind gets a picture of what is actually going on. So it's psychological. So
you're having a visual view.
Yes, it's psychological. So we are going to meet with her. She sent an email out this Friday. And we're going to see what we can get
a plan of action for her to handle that. It's okay to not be okay.
Mm-hmm. You want to shout out Kenneth Butler?
Kenneth Butler. Yes. We didn't shout out Kenneth.
No, we did not.
Kudos to Kenneth Butler. Kenneth is we asked Kenneth to volunteer, and he is to work with Major and the captain and Ebony they're going to have a conversation, because he has some strong ideas on how to get them back on track at 911 with the call center. And some of his ideas he shared with me are brilliant.
Yeah, they are. He is
brilliant, from awesome, and his speaking,
team building.
He has an eloquent way of speaking.
Does.
You can understand him very good, and he seems like he knows what he's talking about.
He does know, but you say you can understand him very well.
I can understand him very well.
I got this my sinus and stuff.
Guess what?
That's what.
He was light skinned too. I had to throw that in there, viewers, but this is a private joke with us, and we don't mean no harm to anyone that thinks that we're being insensitive. But again, I am multiracial, and so we're not have any racism out there. So everybody's got
like a mutt. That's like a mutt.
Oh, yeah, I'm a lotto. That's short for mutt.
You're a mutt.
See, it's so much out here in this world. There's no laughter anymore. Everything is so taken so serious. See, I'm okay with my truth. I have an African American mother, and I had a Sicilian father. And my grandparents were full-blooded Cherokee Indians. I have my truth. So I'm okay with it. And I knew what I went through when I was coming up in high school, when racism was out there and still out here. So, but I'm okay with Gina. So you can't throw any shade with me about my color, because I could be white on this side, black on this side, and Indian when I feel like it, so because that is my heritage. And we got to find some humor sometime. Now, we ain't saying that you go around and calling anybody in a negative way, but don't take everything so serious when you have a good rapport with someone and we laughing about certain things to keep it, because it can be hurtful. And anybody that's abusing folks out there, manipulating or retaliating or calling you names or cursing at you, that's against city code ordinance anyway. So you need to be reaching out to the union. And if you're not a union member, you need to be joining the union. And again, our number is 678-414-8982 or gpagnotta at atlantaga.gov. That's 678-414-8982 or gpagnotta at atlantaga.gov.
All right. And we have some callers on the line. I'm just going to see if they want to say something. They might not. And if you don't, that's fine. But when I click on you, your phone is going to say you are unmuted. If you want to speak, just go ahead and speak.
You're unmuted. Would you like to speak? Okay. Well, we know they're there.
They are there. We heard the background noise. It's going to tell them. And then.
You're muted. Would you like to speak? Okay. Thank you for listening anyway. And if you're watching us live stream, we appreciate that. So, Abby, we are about to round up. Did we hit all of the topics today?
I believe we did. We hit on to everything.
I love that. I'll be glad when we get to the point where I can say, and if you like us, you can subscribe. Just click on the bell at the bottom.
But they can click on the bell. They can
See?
Subscribe. We already have some subscribers already.
Oh,
it's not a lot.
Tell me that.
Yeah, 5.
Well, that's good.
That's still
good.
That's
better than 1.
Especially since they can't text us. I don't know.
This is only our second show.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to figure it out.
Okay.
I don't know. It might be. I don't know.
So, this is a work in progress. Mm-hmm. And so if you do like to subscribe, tell them how to do it.
You just click the subscribe button. And then anytime we do something, it's going to pop up on your YouTube. You can look at it. We're trying to schedule the shows. Look like I'm probably just going to have to just start doing it live and sending out the link the day of.
Yes.
And send it that way because we can then communicate text. I'm not sure how to do this. If somebody know, let us know how to do it because I'm still working on this YouTube.
This is a new thing for us.
Yeah, but YouTube I'm not too savvy on.
Yeah, we're trying to. Oh, you admit it. See, that's a good leader. Admitted she's not savvy at YouTube, but you had me fooled.
You just think I know a lot of stuff. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't. But it's just certain things I know how to.
I appreciate everything that you have done so far for PACE with the electronic stuff going on. We are looking for some additional help. Ibby always needs help because I put a lot on her.
A lot.
When it comes to communications, our communications department of 1. And we do looking for our members that want to volunteer to help her and help us when we need some information like this.
And we would like going forward the rest of the board members to join in and give their issues in their departments. Because I know 911 is not the only one and 311 is not the only one that's having issues. We have issues at the airport.
Oh, yes.
We covered that. We have issues everywhere. And sometimes some of the employees are just not vocal enough to speak. So they might not have a strong personality there to help represent or pull it out of them. But we got to get some people.
And our stewards just went through training. So we got to get them lodged out there in different areas and sections of the city. And one thing I do want to say before we start closing out, I am going to ask, I hope that the city is not trying to move us back in. This is too soon. I think we still need to wait maybe about 6 more months, see how these vaccinations going, and you guys decided you want to get vaccine, please do so, and wait and see how the numbers are looking. But I think everybody's getting the feel, not everybody, because when you say everybody, it's not everybody, but a lot of people are getting the feel that the city is going to try to move us back in. And I think we might not be ready to come back in until we see, just because you're getting the shot doesn't mean certain things that the numbers are going down the way they should be. I think we need to stay on the course of the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, even though we're getting in at vaccinations, until we can see a dramatic change in the numbers dropping.
What we did not discuss.
Okay.
And we need to.
What
we discussed with our department about sicking out.
Okay.
And that particular policy. as it states in the Muni Code.
Okay, so what we can do is, because of the time, we can talk about, just briefly hit it, and next week
briefly.
we'll talk about it so we can do some more investigation. But the sick time, what we're talking about versus where they feel it's a gray area, which I don't think it's a gray area. It spells it out to me in the code about how many days you can be out without having bringing a doctor's note. Currently, to my understanding and the way that we have been operating is that you have 3 days consecutive that you can be out without having to bring a doctor's note on the 4th day.
When you say 3 days consecutive, you mean
that
Monday.
Means how Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, I call out sick. I come in on Thursday, I do not have to have a doctor's note.
You're okay to return
if
to work?
I can come on to work.
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I call out sick. Come Friday, if I come to work, which is the 5th day, I need to bring in a doctor's note saying I can return to work.
Or you cannot.
Or I cannot return to
now,
work.
Am I still obligated to pay you for those 5 days if you do not come back with a doctor's
That's
note?
an HR discussion that we need to have. Because
right.
during the pandemic may be different now versus doing in a regular.
But within that 3 days,
you have to be paid.
You have to be paid. Or
right.
Even the 4th day.
Even the 4th day, you got to come back with a doctor's note.
Okay.
Okay. Remember the 4th day.
Yeah.
If you're out the 4th day, the 5th day, you got to bring in a doctor's note. That's in the code.
Yeah.
And I think people are getting it, that, you know, but we're covered on that some more next week. You guys can text us, call us, and let us know what you want to talk about. Thank you to the caller that listened and wanted to know about the productive and the preemptive and the proactive.
Preventive.
I take that to the age.
Look how you do that.
I take that to the age because I forgot.
And preemptive. That was really good. And it had me thinking this morning. I was just like, oh, that is so good.
Yes.
But it is really, really good because those terms you use throughout your whole career. You're doing those throughout your whole career, wherever you are. So it was really good. And I do want to thank all those that are listening on Blog Talk and those that are listening on YouTube. We got us 2 channels.
Oh, yeah.
Blog Talk and we on YouTube.
On YouTube. We're moving on up.
Moving up.
To the city. But listen, I've also running I put in my bid to be the WSA or Work Safe Atlanta chairperson. So, you know,
as if you don't have enough on your plate.
Well, doggone it, I'm tired of them not doing what they need to be doing up there because PACE was instrumental in birthing that committee, and they're not doing what it needs to be done.
Well, you should get it. You should get it.
So it's time for somebody. Or I can be assistant to somebody as long as they're going to do the right thing to get this done. Yeah. Because I saw a lot of flaws, still see a lot of flaws, and they need to fix. But shout out to all of the new employees that we have coming on board to the city of Atlanta.
We have
and the new leaders that's coming on board. We hope that you come with some good knowledge and listen to your employees that's been here. To help you along the way to do the right thing and don't get caught up in that old traffic that all the other ones have got caught up in. So we don't have to keep saying, well, how long you gonna be here? That's the old well, how long they
gonna be here? So, and I would definitely like to shout out to the employees that took for 911 that took that call handling the Zone 2 at Buckhead, the mass shootings that they had.
Absolutely.
Because they caught that person. It was the swift reactions to dispatchers working together and police.
Colleague teamwork.
True teamwork. I don't know the names yet. I'm trying to get them so we can publish them in our newsletter. But that was great work. It was great work. And sometimes they don't get recognized. A lot of times, a lot of people don't get recognized in any department that they work. So we would like to acknowledge everybody for all the hard work that you do every day because it doesn't go unnoticed.
Thank you. Thank you for your due diligence and your work ethics. Even to the police efforts that got the guys or whoever and the 911. And thank you to all the employees. It's essential out there. You guys try to stay as safe as possible. We kudos to you all out there that's dealing with all of this stuff. Your teleworkers that are actually really working. Kudos to you to still stay steadfast in your work ethics. And even the ones that's at home that probably don't have a clue to what's going on. Some of them still have good work ethics and can't wait to get back to work, but just be a little bit more patient because I would like to see us just wait it out for a little bit more because now you got that pollen out here and everybody's sneezing and snorting and coughing. And you know, my head is like COVID, like my grandson running around to my coronavirus. And so You know, you sneeze, he runs to get his mask about coronavirus. So, you know, you got to laugh at something to keep your stress level down. But
Yes.
be prayerful for the ones that have family members that lost their lives to COVID. That's a serious matter. You are in our prayers, and the ones that's battling right now, family members, and even some of our employee members that are dealing with this COVID.
Mhm.
Please do your best. We wish you the best, Godspeed on your healing. And we love you to death, and hope to, you know, get you better and back to work or back engaged with what's going on.
And one of our managers, Lisa Henley, she goes, I think she starts her radiation this week. This is the last part of her treatment,
Okay.
I believe,
Okay.
the radiation. So she's been out of work for almost a year now.
Prayers to
And
her.
so we all continue to lift her up, her
Yes.
spirit, her strength, her health, everything. And then my godmother fell, broke her hip, and she's been in and out of the hospital. So that's my everything. And she's white. She's a little white lady. She is.
Now you see, now wait a minute.
Wanted to
Hold
say
up
that
now.
because when people, if something
We gotta
happened
talk
and they
about
say,
this next week.
we're gonna talk about it offline.
She got a white godmama.
But she's the sweetest thing. She's
But
been
talk
there.
about me.
I'm just saying, I have no racial boundaries.
See?
None at all.
And we showing this to prove
Yeah.
that we still are camaraderie.
Yes. We
Colleagues.
can get along.
Teamwork, no matter
Yes.
what race, no matter what color, no matter what religious background you have,
Mhm.
no matter what your language barrier,
No matter your sexual
you still
orientation.
we love each other. See there? Oh, got to go. Time to go. Medea's in the house. Medea got to go. But you guys, we're out. See you next week. Love you. Peace out and stay safe. Till we meet again. Bye-bye.
You are silly.